Hey everyone, welcome back and let's talk about stores in Svelte. So stores are super powerful. And if you're wondering, hey, so when am I going to use this? A store is best used when a piece of state lives outside of the component hierarchy, or if a couple of components or several components share a piece of state, or a piece of state that lives in a different part of the application. So we're going to be taking a look at a really simple example. So we have a page.svelte file, we have a stores.ts file, and we have just a buttons component that shares, 3 buttons here, all right, to get all of these on the screen in a nice, easy way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go into stores.ts, and that just lives in the lib folder. And what I can do here is I can import writable because we want this to be a writable store. And we have to export let, and then we're going to call this counter. And we are going to initialize this to writable 0. We're going to set this to 0. Okay, that's all we need to do in stores.ts. All right. Now, what I'm going to do here inside of the buttons component is I'm going to import counter from lib stores. Okay, easy. Now, I'm going to first show this to you the long way, and then I'm going to show it to you the easy way, or the shorthand way there at the end. We're going to need to understand both of these styles because you're going to see them out in the wild, and it's good to have a mental model of both. So the first thing I'm going to do here inside the increment function, which is, of course, referenced in the onClick handler, is I am going to use counter, and I am going to call the update method. And right here, I'm going to just say in plus 1. Okay, easy. And I'm going to do the same thing down here, except in minus 1, right? We're de-incrementing. And here, I'm going to use set, right? When we want to reset this value, we want to set it to 0. Okay, awesome. So now that we have all of that out of the way, let's go back to our page.svelte file. And where it says hi, we actually want to display the counter value. Okay, so I'm going to import counter, all right, from lib stores. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of, some weirdness here in order to get this variable to show on the screen. I'm going to have to first create a local variable, and we're going to call this current counter. Okay. And I'm just going to call this, or I'm just going to type this as a number. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to reference, counter, and we're going to use the subscribe method. And what we're going to do here is we are going to reassign current counter to in. Okay, awesome. And now that we have that local variable in play, we can just go ahead and reference that here. And as you see, it just went to 0, which is working. So let's go ahead and test out what we have. So I'm pressing the plus button, we're seeing it incrementing. The minus button is de-incrementing, right? We're going past 0 here. And if I reset, we go to 0. That is really nice because I am clicking a button here, and that is being represented properly, updating properly here in the page.svelte file. So everything's working correctly, but some of the stuff here is, a little bit complicated, or it can be simpler. So let's show the shorthand version, all right? So I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of all of this stuff, okay? And whenever we want to access the value of the store, we're going to use the dollar sign. And you guys already know when we use the dollar sign, we're going to do something special in Svelte. All right. So we're just going to say counter and we're just going to assign it. So let's do plus equals 1. All right. That easy. Same thing here, right? Counter minus equals 1. Awesome. And we're going to do the same thing here, which is so easy. And we're just going to assign it to 0. Okay. So I saved that and let's test it out. Okay, great. It's incrementing, it's de-incrementing, and it's being set back to 0. That's awesome. And because we get to use the value with that dollar sign, we can get rid of all this. This is fantastic. Okay, and I am just going to use dollar sign counter. Okay, awesome. And we are back at 0, which is great. So we covered a lot in this video. We covered the long way of doing it. We also covered the shorthand way of handling stores. Stores are fantastic to use in Svelte. I hope this was useful to you. If it was, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.